Hello, everyone. Welcome to the exclusive webinar on a strategic blueprint to digital transformation in the manufacturing industry. I'm Akshaya. I'm a product marketing manager working for Kissflow. It is my pleasure to introduce the webinar speaker, Rohit. Rohit is a dedicated professional whose breadth of experience spans across supply chain management, project management, and ERP implementation. With over 5 years of hands on involvement in the ERP rollouts, Rohit has been at the forefront of multiple projects, navigating the complexities of implementation. He is passionate about digital transformation and problem solving, and he is dedicated to delivering long term value to organizations through digitalization initiatives. Rohit, over to you.
Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you for the warm introduction. First of all, I'm very happy to be able to present today on this webinar. This topic is very dear to me. In the past multiple years that I've worked on digital transformation project across multiple countries and across different companies, it has given me a lot of insight and which I would like to share with you all today in particular. So throughout the session, we'll be deep diving into the industrial transition that we have seen over decades. So we will talk about industrial revolution, number one, up till the digital revolution that we are witnessing today, the entire industrial landscape and how digital transformation is affecting the manufacturing industries altogether. We will talk about what digital transformation is, what digital transformation means in general, and how could companies create a strategic roadmap for a digital transformation within their organization. And then last but not the least, we would like to focus on how low code or no code is transforming digital transformation altogether. What we are witnessing now is a revolution unlike any other. We are in a digital revolution which is not only transforming industries but societies altogether. Globally, the past decade has seen a gradual increase in the spend when it comes to digitalization efforts. To put this into perspective, a report published on Statista states the spending on digital transformation is predicted to reach $2.89 trillion in 2025, which is close to the predicted GDP of France alone for 2024. IDC predicts that $816 billion would be spent on digital transformation in manufacturing alone in 2025. That's approximately 30% of the entire spend. By 2027, IDC estimates that the global digital spend would reach a whooping $3.4 trillion. More than 90% of the manufacturing leaders believe that DX, digital transformation, is important for their success. Throughout history, humanity has undergone transformative periods driven by technological advancements, and it has reshaped economies, societies, cultures altogether. But where did it actually start? It started with Industry 1.0 at the end of 18th century, which witnessed mechanization using steam power. And then at the start of the 20th century or the late 19th century, there was electrification and mass production. Inventions such as the assembly line from Henry Ford revolutionized how manufacturing processes are conducted altogether, leading to unprecedented productivity gains. In the late 20th century, there was automation with the invention of personal computer, internet. There was easy access to data, followed by connectivity. And then now what we are witnessing is Industry 4.0. It is altogether on a different level. This is a digital transformation characterized by the fusion of digital, physical, and also biological technologies. The lines between all of these three spheres are blurring at a rate which is unprecedented. What is the difference between 3.0 and 4.0? Cognition. So the process of acquiring knowledge, of understanding and capturing, harnessing the value from data, that has changed altogether when we are looking at Industry 4.0. But what is exactly Industry 4.0? The term Industry 4.0 was introduced in Hanover, and after that, the definitions have changed all along. There is no one particular definition of Industry 4.0. Every industry, every organization, every manufacturing entity has defined and come up with its own definition of Industry 4.0. Let me give you an example of IoT analytics, for example. This alone includes AI, AR, VR, digital reality, cloud computing, edge computing, all of this within Industry 4.0 as a technology. So the term Industry 4.0 that we keep hearing over and out all over again is synonymous with the fourth industrial revolution. It is totally changing the how the entire industry operates, including how everyone works, how we look at societies. This industrial revolution has been a transformative period in human history, driving growth, progress, innovation from the invention of steam up until now, where we are talking about AI. Each revolution has left an indelible mark on the world, shaping how we live, how we work, and how we interact with each other. Now, when we talk about how do we bring Industry 4.0 within manufacturing, then we need to talk about digital transformation as a process, as a strategy on a broader scale. Digital transformation in manufacturing, particularly, has been a cornerstone of competitiveness in the modern industrial landscape in the past 2, 3 decades, reshaping traditional processes and propelling businesses beyond the moon. However, traditional manufacturing, traditional manufacturing companies are always stuck in a firefighting mode, forced to react to issues rather than anticipate and find innovative solutions. Though this landscape has been changing over the past, let's say, a decade or so, the post-pandemic era, the unpredictable geopolitical conflicts has made the industry rethink its strategy and is driving digital transformation at an unforeseen pace. So, digital transformation overall presents challenges, but the opportunities for manufacturing in companies, when we talk about DX or digital transformation, is manifold. How we overcome these barriers, including the barrier of legacy systems, the workforce resistance, cybersecurity concern, will pave a way into an altogether different world of manufacturing that we are going to see in the near future. The key trends which are driving digital transformation in manufacturing that we have identified are one of the six that we have one of the few that we have identified are operational excellence, industry 4.0, which focuses more towards customer and is very quick in introducing the customer requirements within production. So the distance between what the customer wants as to what we are producing has totally reduced. According to a report by McKinsey, smart manufacturing could generate up to 3.5, 3.7 trillion in value by 2025 alone. Bosch, which is a leading supplier of technology and services, implemented smart manufacturing solutions in its plants. By leveraging real-time data and analytics along with IoT sensors, Bosch was able to achieve 10% increase in overall equipment effectiveness and reduced a machine downtime by around 15%. The one of the other trends which is shaping digital transformation in manufacturing is environmental sustainability and green manufacturing. So there are reports which suggest from Gartner that 74% of the supply chain leaders expect circular economy to increase profits through 2025. Supply chain digitization has been primal for many industries, many manufacturing companies from the past decades. However, post-pandemic, plus the changing geopolitical situations has put so much pressure on the supply chain functions that it is necessary that the pace of supply chain digitization uh, is increased. A survey by Capgemini found that 79% of manufacturing executives believe that digital supply chain initiatives have the potential to create a competitive advantage. We have all heard of Adidas, which is a multinational sportswear manufacturer. It has implemented a blockchain technology already to enhance their supply chain transparency. They are able to now track raw materials from their origin up until the end, ensuring that there are ethical sourcing practices at all levels, and it also reduces the risk of counterfeit products entering its supply chain. Then we talk about augmented reality, virtual reality, which is changing and reinventing how we perform trainings, how we perform remote trainings, how we can do remote maintenances and remote assistance altogether on a different level. The technologies around cybersecurity have also grown up because the amount of data that is being generated at present is altogether on a different level. So you might be wondering right now, where is data analytics and AI in this picture? The reason that it's not there in this slide is because each of these trends encompass AI and data analytics within themselves. A study by Deloitte found that predictive maintenance powered by AI and machine learning can reduce maintenance costs by up to 40%, and unplanned downtime could be reduced by up to 50%. Toyota Motor Corporation implemented AI-driven predictive maintenance in its manufacturing plants since many years now. By analyzing equipment sensor data, Toyota is able to identify the potential failures even before they occur, reducing maintenance costs by almost 20% and increasing an equipment uptime of 10%. So digital transformation is not merely a buzzword anymore, but manufacturers are thriving and are competing with each other to stay to upgrade the digital structures. And what has it come to right now? Data. The amount of data that is being generated at present on a global level is ginormous. The the digital pace or the digital transformation, as I've already mentioned, is not only affecting industries, but it is changing how societies live altogether. There are right now billions of interconnected devices all over the world. Eric Schmitz, a former CEO of Google, stated that the amount of data which is generated from the dawn of civilization up until 2003 is 5 exabytes. Recent studies and estimates show that 147 zettabytes of data will be created in 2024 alone. 147 zettabytes. And this is a whooping 29,500 times more data compared to what we generated from the start of the civilization until 2023. Phew. Who is producing and collecting most of this data? Is it finance? Is it healthcare? Is it banking? No, majority chunk of this data is coming from manufacturing. Manufacturing already, sorry, McKinsey predicts that Manufacturing is producing double the amount of data than the next or the second highest industry. In the last 10 years alone, 200 petabytes of data has been collected. And industry IoT consortium estimates that we have lost 99% of this data. We had just let this data slip through. Like yesterday's garbage. Discard it. Splunk, a data analytics company, stated that 55% of the data is a mystery, unused. Imagine the potential of using more than 50% amount of the data. One of the one of very interesting surveys from McKinsey states that data-driven companies are 23% more likely to acquire more customers. 23%. So how much of that data is your organization actually using? As mentioned earlier, industry-wide spend on digital transformation has grown exponentially over the past decade. There's a mountain of spend in 2025 alone that we are going to witness. And 30% of this is going to go towards manufacturing. And out of almost 30%, yeah. And out of this almost 30%, 18.2% is discrete manufacturing alone. However, research shows that roughly 70% of the companies which are undergoing digital transformation don't reach their stated goals. That's because they are focusing on technology, on specific technology, rather than doing the heavy lifting of aligning digital change with the overall business strategy. What are the top 5 challenges that we see hindering the digital transformation? It is cultural resistance to moving away from legacy systems. So cultural bringing a cultural change in the mindset of the people or the within the organization is primal to driving digital transformation within the organization. Data management, effective data management and analytics are critical components to bringing a successful transformation within the organizations. Many organizations still struggle with data within silos, inconsistent data quality, or lack of expertise when it comes to data analytics. There are multiple technology platforms which are being used within these organizations, and all of these technologies are in silos. They lack integration, they lack interoperability. There is also skill gap, which we notice within the industry. I'm currently sitting in Germany, and Germany is presently also talking about the lack of the lack of skill when it comes to particularly AI within the country as such. Then there is unresolved and mounting technical backlogs. The companies feel that they have, or the manufacturing industries feel that they have already lost out on this journey, and that's why it's very difficult for them to keep up with the pace. A research stated that almost 30% of the manufacturers around the globe are in a phase of technology paralysis. It's quite astonishing. 30% of the companies in a state of technology paralysis. It could also be because there are so many technologies which are presently available or are at the users or are available in the market that it's very difficult to choose which technology is the best for an organization. And therefore, it is very important on how a digital transformation roadmap is created within an organization. However, there is no such thing as a perfect digital transformation roadmap, every company has to perform a self-assessment, design a milestone-driven path. Digital takes time. Simultaneously, you need to have patience and also a sense of urgency. It is a journey which needs to which it is a journey for both the organization and also the individual, the employees. The leaders need to be deliberate about the changes that they bring within the organization. They need to inculcate new habits within the organizations which are pro digital. Few of the digital, uh, let's say, points that I would like to point out are resetting the digital clock altogether. Digital transformation is going to be a long process. So you need to have a long term digital strategy with short term objectives and goals. So do not sacrifice the long term value for short term results. Believe in the transformational powers of data, technology, innovation, and apply it to all disciplines within the industry. Create obsession within the company. Create, as a leader, it is your responsibility to ensure that digital becomes the buzzword and employees are obsessed with this, with driving technology, taking ownership, creating uh, customer obsessions for driving digital innovations. For example, AWS did not start wanting to be a cloud technology company, right? But they needed a tool for themselves, which they could use to scale their infrastructure. However, look at where AWS right now, and it was all possible because of the digital obsession which they created within the organization. Don't go along to get along. In many industries, we see that civility has become more of a practice now. Don't let civility become more important than what is right. Bureaucracy has been rated as one of the top hindrances to digital transformation. It is the direct enemy of digital growth. As leaders, you should try to reduce bureaucracy, make the teams, uh, increase the ownership within the teams, drive decisions to smaller teams, and reduce the amount of time it takes to make decisions. Create there's a very famous term called as pizza sized teams. Create pizza sized teams. These are small multifunctional teams which are able to make their own decisions. So basically, when you cut a pizza into 8 slices, a team should also be able to distribute a pizza within the eight people. So let's keep the limit the team size. Do not make it over complicated, let's say. And then it is also digital is also about speed and agility externally to your customers, to the market, and also internally within your organization. Digital is not just about the technology anymore, but it's about how we compete to make a difference. By leveraging different customer experiences, by creating lean business practices, innovative business models, which are all powered by convergence of a wide variety of technologies and computer science capabilities such as cloud computing, social and mobile collaborations, AI, predictive analytics. And all of this needs a holistic approach at all levels, from top to bottom. So digital is not only about the technology, but it's more towards how we are competing to make a difference within the organization. It is at the strategic level, at the business level, at the team level, at our partner level, at all different levels. We have come up, sorry, I would say that there are a couple of simple steps on creating a, a a fruitful digital roadmap. And it all begins with organizational assessment. It is very important to assess your organization. What capabilities do you have to bring about a digital transformation? If required, also find an external partner which will help you uh, create this digital strategy within your organization. Then formulate a strategy, create a clear understanding of the organization's current state and the external environment and what exactly is beneficial for an organization. Do not follow trends, but see what is actually necessary for the organization. Choose the right technologies that needs to be implemented. Create a full scale implementation plan, and then continuously uh, improve what you have done. This is a cyclical or an iterative process when we talk about digital transformation and strategy. You have a long-term strategy. Do not lose the value of the long-term strategy with short-term goals. However, it is very necessary that you create short milestone. When we start working with this iterative process, very soon there comes a point of time where there are so many different technologies, so many different softwares, PLM, ERPs, CRM that we have integrated along with our traditional old legacy systems. It becomes too much, too overwhelming for organizations. And for that, there's a recent industry trend, which is low code platforms or low code or no code platforms, which are being used for multiple situations like these. So basically, the goal of a low code platform is to enable the quick development of softwares without having to write any code manually. So this can help create disparate application landscapes, a landscape that can bring in more flexibility. You will be able to innovate more, integrate more, and adapt quickly. Low code application platforms help manufacturing professionals develop more flexible and efficient applications. And this not only helps software developers, but also citizen development is possible via low code and no code. It could be very simple. For example, if you have domain experts which come up with solutions, and you no longer have to look at trained IT employees who probably could pose to be a bottleneck. You could create your own small tools and applications for small requirements within the organizations at different levels. It could be from in HR, it could be within quality department, it could be in production, it could be also uh, uh, inventory optimization, it could be demand forecasting, it could be as simple as how the employees on the shop floor clock their shifts. So in the past years, we have seen or witnessed uh, uh, a slow and steady growth of low code and no code. However, Gartner is predicting now that low code development market is was grew by 23% in 2023 alone. Uh, so there, Forrester says that no code solutions consume 70% more resources compared to conventional app building methodologies. Low code and no code platforms have helped reduce app development time by 90%. Forbes estimates that by 2030, the global low code no code development platform market side will be a whopping 187 billion in revenue. So with the help of low code, there are multiple areas where we can optimize within the manufacturing industry. It could be purchase, inventory, manufacturing, sales order processing, the entire order to cash flow, S&OP process, finance, maintenance, and human resources. So there are no limits to low code and no code. And with that, I would like to end the presentation for today. Akshay, I would like to thank you once again for having me here today. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to more such webinars. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rohit, for this insightful webinar. Thank you all.